Hello, welcome back to the James Allen Reviews for yet another episode. In today's episode, I'm actually going to be reviewing for you A Real Pain, which I saw last night, and I will give you a bit of context into, going into this movie, what did I know about the movie, my context on how, where the actors are from, and, the movies I've seen of them, just so you kind of understand where I'm coming from in this kind of video. So, you have two actors, Jessie Eisenberg and Kiaren Culkin, right? And you have them, right? And I know Jessie Eisenberg from movies like The Social Network and also like Zombieland. And I do actually remember enjoying those movies and actually having a good time with them. And also Kiaren Culkin, right? He is from Home Alone and he's related to Macaulay Culkin, who was the main star of the Home Alone movies, more specifically the first two Home Alones, and I absolutely love those movies and think those are some really good Christmas classics. So that once I started hearing about A Real Pain, it got me interested because I've seen these actors before, and so I will give you a bit of like a spoiler-free type of plot description here. So the best way I can describe this movie is that you have Jessie Eisenberg, right, and Kiaren Culkin, and they are actually these two mismatched cousins, and they go on this kind of like tour to Poland, and there is actually a reason why they do all of this, and I'm not going to spoil why, but you get to kind of explore their life and what they're kind of going through and how they feel about all these situations. And it is also an hour and a half, and it is a comedy movie, so there's definitely that. And so how did I actually feel about this movie, A Real Pain? Well, I'm going to be honest into saying that I actually think that this is yet another really good type of movie for 2025 here, because I just feel like that this movie really does know what it's actually trying to say. It handles like the tone really well, and for example of this, right, the movie is a comedy, it's light-hearted, sure, and all of that, but there are some subject matters in this movie, some themes in this movie where it does get a bit sad and emotional, but it never like crosses this boundary where it's like, oh, it's gonna joke about every like insense and be insensitive as possible. Never really does that here, and what really helps this is how you have two really amazing performances from Kiaren Culkin and Jessie Eisenberg, and that really works well. And what I also found really interesting about this movie as I've been processing it, right, is the fact that I remember points where the cinematography was kind of like mirroring what was going on the screen, and it was really cool to see how they were kind of portraying everything as if it was like you're trying to picture it in your head and picturing it on the screen. So that was really cool. And I just feel like a lot of the cast members as well, there's a lot of points where I was really laughing, and then there was a couple of times where I almost drew myself to tears, because it felt like, when they were getting really emotional and they were taking things serious, I was getting invested and interested by what was actually going on. And it does really do a very good job at also kind of showing you that family actually matters, and that you should actually kind of be like, well, I really do think that my family is important. So there's themes like that throughout this movie that just make it an absolute amazing watch. And on top of that, as I said, it's an hour and a half, right? But at no point in this movie was I going, so is it almost over? Like, I'm looking down at my phone, or looking down at a watch or something, like, oh, is it almost over? Is it almost over? No, never was I ever like that, because I absolutely enjoyed this movie, and I would actually give this movie a solid 9 out of 10. And the reason why I do not think it's a masterpiece is because it is a variation of a story that you've seen before. You've definitely seen movies that tackle these subject matters in the past, but that is kind of obvious here that they were going to do that because it was kind of baked into the story. And another thing to note is that Kieran McCulkin actually won a Golden Globes nomination for Best Supporting Actor, and I just feel like he'd absolutely deserve that. And overall, yeah, A Real Pain is not actually a real pain to sit through, right? It was just an absolutely amazing movie, and I was doing my best here to kind of explain my opinion on the film, and so I hope you enjoyed this review, and stay tuned for more like this. This is a completely different review from that movie we talked about last week, Daku Maharaj, but I like variety on this channel, and it is not a real pain that I'm going to be making more videos like this because I just enjoy doing it. So yeah, bye.